Biker TV is brought to you by the Canadian Championship of Bike Building, Victory Motorcycles, Exotic Custom Cycles. Welcome to Biker TV, by bikers, for bikers. Now let's get this show on the road. And what makes you want to put on an event like this?
I love motorcycles.
Okay.
And it's close to rock and roll in the music industry, and the women are just as hot.
Just as hot. Oh, okay. Well, there are some hot girls, although I wasn't really looking because I'm not like that. But anyway, and Nova Scotia's pretty well known for its blues entertainers.
Yes, we have Dutch Mason, who's the Prime Minister of the Blues in Canada. As a matter of fact, he got the Order of Canada last year because he was a pioneer here, fostering the blues and helping establish the music scene in Canada in the last 50 years. So we're pretty happy that the Canada's Prime Minister of Blues lives here.
So you thought you'd combine the two events, the big kick-ass blues concert and some killer Canadian bike builders?
Well, I tried to think of all the B's I could. So I went with blues, bikes, beer, barbecue, and beau.
And babes, and Biker TV.
Let's talk about Northern Rider.
And who are you? Not that everybody doesn't
I'm
know you
CC
already.
Rider, cross-country rider, just because I don't know any better. I have a 1999 FL HT that I ride across with 190,000 kilometers on it.
Right on.
And when it breaks down, as it quite often does, I have a 1979 Honda 750 that my daughter prefers over the Harley. Harley's got a lot of class, but a Honda will always run. But with Northern Rider here, we're trying to promote the Canadian builder, the Canadian tattoo artist, the Canadian painters. Where's Craig? Hey, Craig! Ah, he's busy over there talking to a pretty blonde himself.
Whose arse do you got to kiss to get on the cover of that?
Speaking of pretty blonde, and whose arse do you have to kiss? Check this poster out now, eh? This is as pretty as blonde as you're going to find in this area. And I got to thank you.
Hey,
Heather,
no problem.
Just for letting me take this picture.
That's awesome.
And she's also on the cover here. We're covering the CMDRA. We're covering vintage motorcycles. We're covering touring. I have a good friend that runs HarleyDavidsonMan.com, and he rode all by himself up to the Yukon this year. We're not trying to sell you a new motorcycle. We're trying to share the experience, whether it be touring our beautiful country, or some of the old vintage motorcycles we have out there, or some of the talented builders.
So basically, you, yourself, and Northern Rider are all about Canadian biker lifestyle, which is awesome because that's what Biker TV is all about.
That's about it, Heather, yeah.
Right on.
That's why we get along so good.
We do get along pretty
We do,
good.
yeah.
I'm not up your kilt either.
This girl takes all the harassing I can give her and always has a smile for me.
I'm good like that.
You are.
I just was admiring your shirt.
That's a pretty good shirt, yeah.
You know what? Whose ass do you got to kiss to get a shirt like that?
Well, I think it's just $20. No kissing
You're supposed
involved.
to say, yours. That's a fine looking shirt.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan. They just said money or nothing. So
It's not in the contract. Okay.
Biker TV rocks.
Okay, just tell me who you are.
Okay, I'm Stu Seaton. I'm a journalist with Motorcycle Mojo. And when this project came up, my publisher, Glenn, who's the best publisher in the world, asked me if I would be interested in the Northern Stars flag relay to Kandahar. And I thought about it for a little while, and I thought, what better way to unite Canada and say to all of the troops over there, regardless of the mission, we support you. So couple weeks ago, I got the flag by Purelator, and I opened it up, and I gotta tell you, I just had goosebumps the minute I saw it. Well, the minute I saw it, I looked at our national emblem, and I thought, this is from people like you and me, right from one end of Canada to the other, who are trying to send a message to our troops of unity, regardless of the mission. You're there, and this is our support. One thing that did bother me was that I'm quite sure that somebody is going to be worried about us writing on the flag.
Right.
And that kind of worried me because of the etiquette of the symbol.
You know what, though, by the number of veterans that signed it, not having a problem with it and wanting to be a part of it, I think that says a lot.
I took it down to Brighton Branch 100 Legion, and I had 22 World War II vets waiting to see that flag. And we've got one signature on there from a fellow by the name of Wilf Pound, who is well into his 90s, one of the oldest World War II vets still alive. And he took a look at the flag and he said, "Where's a pen? I want to sign it." And as soon as Wolfert signed his name to the flag, the entire group stood up and gave a round of applause. And I'll tell you, I just had a lump in my throat the size of a football. So if that doesn't say something for etiquette, unity, and just what we're trying to get across to the troops out there, then nothing does.
I heard mention of your son. What's your son's part in this?
Well, my son is serving his second tour in Kandahar, and he's a navigator with 436 Squadron, and he will be actually flying the flag into Kandahar and handing it to the camp commander at Kandahar for display at the camp. So it's a bit of a tie-in with my family, and to be part of it, it just gives me goosebumps and a big lump in my throat because I want to go right on. I don't care what the mission is, our guys and gals are over there, and we have to go out there and support them.
Yeah, give something back to the troops. I think it's important. It's a good project. I'm glad you're involved in that way and that your son is there. That's awesome.
Let's get everybody together and say, yay.
Maybe we should get the biggest flag on the planet and get every biker in Canada to sign it. You know I travel, eh?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I can get signatures for you.
I'll send you around and get you signed.
Yeah. Get me signed, okay. Washable markers, hopefully.
Okay.
Washable.
We'll work on flag. Okay.
All right. Thank you. That was cool. Thanks for sharing.
Closed captioning by Task Performance.
Bike club, bike club, bike club, bike club, bike.
I'm Justin Merrithew. I'm Matt Colvin. I'm Tyler Bridges.
Samantha Henley.
Sean Terrio. Corey Cormier.
And you guys are the
BMJ Bike Club.
Now, what is the bike club?
We basically build chopper pedal bikes and restore bikes.
My name is Mark Mazerow. I'm a teacher here at Bernice McNaughton High School in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I started an after-school program called the Bike Club. And the Bike Club has students staying after school, so it's not a regular school hours thing. It's an after-school program where the kids volunteer to stay after school and work on building bicycles. A lot of people think that Bike Club is a club where we go out and riding bicycles, and far from that.
We like bikes. We love bikes. We like building them, and it's a good pastime for after school. It gets us into it. Makes us not hate it.
You don't have to do sports.
Exactly.
Or anything else.
Well, it's great for the kids so they can all challenge their talents, and each child has their own talents.
The Bike Club started as a hobby for me, actually. I wasn't really going to create an after-school program at first. I was just going to see if I could build a bicycle because I had eventually wanted to build myself a motorcycle. And after watching all the TV shows, of course, and seeing how people were putting motorcycles together and wondering if I could build one myself. So I just started with, literally, like I said, with a cocktail napkin drawing, and then transferred that to paper, and then to some more elaborate drawings, and then finally to a 4x8 sheet of plywood. And having nowhere in particular to store a 4x8 sheet of plywood, I stood it up against my whiteboard in my classroom, and it generated some interest from some of my grade 9 students. And they started to ask if they could come and stay after school and help me build this bicycle. So 2 turned into 4, and 4 turned into 6, and 6 turned into 8, and before you know it, I had a whole bunch of kids. And I decided, well, why don't we get some shirts and make it official? So I charged them, a few dollars membership fees, and started the bike club. And we went out and bought some club shirts, and just started building Wendy here, the blue bike.
Well, basically, it's 9 feet long. We named it Wendy. It took us last school year and half of this school year to finish her. It's all built from scratch.
Exhaust piping, really.
Yeah, it's built out of exhaust piping. We made the seat.
Spoke the tires ourselves, so pretty difficult. Never really knew how difficult spoke a tire was until we did it.
We have it custom painted also from Marco Gans.
I started to contact some of the bike builders in the States because the kids were all very interested in the bike building world. So I started emailing, just mass emailing, everybody I could find on the internet, everybody I saw on TV, and just started sending emails out. And at first I got hardly any response at all, and practically none for the first couple of months. And then all of a sudden I came in on Friday morning, and I opened my email, and I had like 6 or 8 emails in there, and from like Russ Mitchell, and from the Martin Brothers, and from Kendall Johnson, and people like that, and they were willing to send me some hats and t-shirts and decals and all this and that to some of their swag, just so I could give it out to the kids. Actually, in my automotive shop classes, I would give prizes away for doing well on learning. So I said, that sounds great, so let's do that. So I started giving a hat away for a good quiz mark, or if you had a poor mark before and you raised your mark up, so it's kind of a turnaround prize, and highest marks on exams, most shop-like conduct. I guess most people call it most sportsman-like conduct, but here in the shop we call it shop-like conduct. That's kids who will help other kids out when they're struggling. They got a prize, and before you knew it, I was seeing a major improvement in my classroom kids. And then some of my classroom kids came to join the bike club as well. So these builders from the States and from Canada now are having a tremendous effect, and they're helping to teach from afar. They're inspiring, they're encouraging, and the response we're getting from the bicycles that we built in the bike club is just tremendous.
I met Mark probably a year ago now, and we were talking about bikes, and he introduced me to his bike club, and they were doing all kinds of neat little stuff with the pedal bike they had, so I just he was teaching them how to design and build some motorcycles. So I said, well, down here we have laws to follow, we have rake and trail, and you have to have this and that, so it might be a good thing so you can show your students too, so when they get older, to actually put a motorcycle on the road, that they follow the rules and get her done right, so the motorcycle is safe. So that's kind of how we got introduced together. And then I came over and did a presentation to the students one day, and talked about what I was doing, and helped them a little bit on the motorcycle, or on the pedal bikes, I guess.
High school student body is like, you have 25% of the kids are academics, and they join a yearbook and student council and dance committees, and then you have the other another 25% that are joining sports teams, and it's almost sometimes that 50% in the middle are forgotten, and these are the people that we need to reach. So I identified really quickly that, you know, these bike builders on the build-off television shows and the Motorcycle Mania television shows and TV shows like Bikertv and whatnot, that the kids were very attracted to this. So it was just a way to connect with them and get them to learn, and they have a tremendous influence. I mean, you just have to look around how many are wearing motorcycle shirts and t-shirts and hats, and the whole culture is being adopted by this younger generation.
You know, they just took off on it, and there was putty flying, and they really did a nice job. And we you know, talked about primers and all this sort of stuff to get the bikes ready for paint, and they basically decided totally about paint schemes and colors, and basically all I did was just spray them for them, because they weren't really equipped to do that. And I'm sure that if we would have handed one of those kids a gun, I think they would have done it. So it's basically you know, it was kind of a cool experience to help these kids out, and I was very impressed of the way they work and the way they learn.
Many kids who are going to go on into the motorcycle world, in my classroom through the incentive program, we would have been happy just to turn one at-risk kid around, and right now at our count we have about 17 kids that we've turned around, kept off the streets, graduated from high school, and are going on to post-secondary education. So I mean, this thing works, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure it keeps going.
Bike club, bike club, bike club, bike club, bike club, wow, bike club.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. Looking forward to today, are you?
Yeah.
Play in the band that plays for our hearts. Ride all night with the moon and the stars. Rolling on the music in the road out there. Playing for the people.
I'm not shy. I'll ride anything twice. That was a great motorcycle. I enjoyed it. I almost said I rode the hell out of it, but I really didn't. I was good to it. I enjoyed it.
That's good. The new customer will appreciate that.
Yeah, I broke it in a bit for the new customer.
Like they do.
So, Wendy, where are we going today? Today we're going to go take you down to Peggys Cove on the Lighthouse route. So we're going to start off here leaving Dartmouth, and then we're going to take you along the Shuby Canal system in through Waverley, and then we're going to join on the main highway and take you a little ways, go through Hammond's Plains, and then we're going to be right on the coast in Tantallon, and we'll take you down the Route 333. So we're going to pass through a lot of little pretty communities, Indian Harbor and stuff before we get there. It'll be a nice ride. The Peggys Cove is very distinct. Besides the massive rocks right at the lighthouse, there's huge rocks and boulders on this barren landscape. It looks like something off the moon or something. It's a nice ride.
Alrighty, that sounds fantastic. Good. Well, shall we get this show on the road?
Let's get our motors running.
Alrighty.
What they want
the song's alive for you all to see. No one feels the tone. No one feels the road like they do.
Bikertv is brought to you by the Bikers Reunion. Motorcycle Mojo Magazine. Kaza Custom Home.